right. Welcome back to What She Said Sports, everybody. Okay, it works better when my microphone is over here, so I don't do this. All right. So, yes, I'm in my Shedurian hoodie. Why? Because I interacted and met with a lot of people today um, who not just only like the Shedurian or the love and support for Shedeur Sanders, but it was a connection, right? So, we're at the Celebration Bowl today. Damn good game. I don't know how many overtimes college football could go, but this game was given Georgia Tech versus Georgia last season, and they went 8 overtimes. So South Carolina State, it's very controversial. Um, the ending is very controversial, and it was a good game. And at halftime, I think I had posted, I was like, it's 21-0. And it seemed like Prairie View was going to run away with this thing, right? So I want to talk about that game. We're going to talk about the stats. Shout out to, first of all, both schools, South Carolina State University and Prairie View A&M, because it was Prairie View's first trip probably in like 19 years. And South Carolina State, of course, they beat Jackson State, but the head coach now is Shedeur, and he was there recently, but this is his first win, right? This is his first win. So he already like a legend, a GOAT type coach, right? Shedeur is a dog. Like, I can't explain to you how a team come back from being down 21-0 at the half and come back to win this thing 38-4 or 40-38. Like, a very controversial call. Very controversial call. But somebody had to lose. And my hope is that these two, who is it? South Carolina State University, the Bulldogs, plays Jackson State for somebody's opening game, for their opening game in 2026. HBCU football will be super lit next year. You already got Marshall Faulk coming into Southern. Congratulations to Southern University for winning Band of the Year, ESPN's Band of the Year. I guess the HBCU Band of the Year. So you already know Southern got the band. Then they get Marshall Faulk. So they'll likely be a competitor, to throw their hat into the swag mix. Shout out to Tremaine Jackson, head coach at Prairie View. I thought he had it. And I think Prairie View thought he had it. But Shedeur made something I don't know most schools would have done. He took his starting quarterback out and put in his backup. And his backup named Ryan Stubblefield is a dog. I'm like, wow. But Cameron Peters at Prairie View A&M, also a dog. I'm telling y'all. Wheels, the guy that always reposts the games, he had the HBCU game up there. So next year, y'all need to already start talking about the Celebration Bowl, because it's going to be lit. And there might be some new contenders. And if Southern get anywhere near it, and they got the band and they got the team, oh Lord, that's just that's just heaven for us, especially those of us from New Orleans. All right, so let me show some love. The state of Louisiana high school championships, comprised of 2 teams from my city, from New Orleans. The legends, St. Augustine, the Purple Knights, who have over 30 alum in the NFL at some point, right? And then Edna Carr. This is their second time going back-to-back state championships. Edna Carr won 49-14. St. Aug hadn't been there in 14 years. St. Aug hadn't been there since 1974. Edna Carr has been there 4 times with 4 different coaches. I don't know what kind of secret sauce they got over there at Edna Carr, but both teams have football and the band. Everybody knows St. Aug. Now, y'all might not remember St. Aug, but, Shedeur only associates with the best. And when he was in town for the Super Bowl in New Orleans, he went to work out at a high school. That was St. Aug. So they went undefeated. Edna Carr went undefeated. 2 teams from New Orleans played in the state championship, and Edna Carr emerged victorious. Shout out to these teams, right? They just out here killing it, the football and the band. Sometimes in the HBCU world, we get one and not the other, right? But lately, we got both, right? Prairie View's Marching Storm did a damn good job. South Carolina Bulldogs, they were so loud at one point. I mean, they was just blowing it out the water. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know you could get that loud. So shout out to everybody this weekend. It's just a good weekend. And some more good news. Some more good news. Now, y'all know how I feel about certain players. Sometimes they need to go back to school. And Lenore Sellers was supposed to be the number one player coming out of college. Y'all know how I feel about him getting concussed and left to lay there on the field for 5 minutes. I never thought it was an accident. But what I did think is when he was offered $8 million to transfer schools and stay in school for 2 more years, I think he should have took the bag. And then what happened? His value drops. He's not even the first round draft selection. They already got him in the second round. So apparently he and his team been talking. He working out a deal to return to South Carolina. I hope he get that $8 million bag, but I doubt it. Maybe 4. Because these players need to understand something, these black players. Okay, you're going to get devalued anyway. If you don't believe me, look at Shedeur. Or if you get the bag and go first like Cam, look at how many times he's been sacked. What's the trade-off? What's the trade-off? Shedeur is actually in a better position to not be sacked 50 times or 72 times because they're the first pick overall like Cam or Lenore Sellers. So shout out to Lenore Sellers for seeing the writing on the wall, for not feeling desperate that he needs to come out this year. I wish he had taken that $8 million bag, but his father ill-advised him. And I'm sure he loves his father, but it's a lesson learned. His father told him he didn't need $8 million. And I said, did you not see what just happened to Shedeur? See, I told y'all a lot of people thought that was specific to the Sanders. Absolutely not. I even said, Dante Moore, pay attention to where they're trying to send you. You might want to go back over there too. But they're going to push him out. Understand that. Because he had Oregon. Now, I heard rumor. I didn't look it up myself. I heard Bryce Underwood is supposed to be hopping into the portal, leaving Michigan. I would too. He came in with the scandal. And then it's another scandal. And y'all messing up what I got going on. The stability I need to succeed. So if he hopped into the portal, good luck. But again, don't know where he going. Because like somebody said in the comments, he going to be pigeonholed. The last time he really had a freedom was before he signed that $10 million contract. So good luck to Bryce Underwood. I'll be keeping my eye on him too. Same thing with Dante Moore. They still trying to get him to Cleveland with Shedeur and Deshaun, turning 3 black elite quarterbacks into triplets on the same team. You know, I'm not with that. Not with that. So we're gonna follow that, you know, as we get closer to these guys making their decisions. Hopefully Dante Moore is thinking if he has eligibility left, they offer you the bag. I want you to stay, because it didn't only just Shedeur wasn't the only person devalued. Quinn Ewers was supposed to come out. He should have came out not 25. He should have came out at 24 when his value was high. So he stayed. He was offered $6 million to hop into the portal and go to another school. But he, instead of, they didn't want him, somebody wanted him to come to their school. They didn't want him to declare for the draft, but he felt like, see, the class with Shedeur, they all felt like, no, the NFL is the answer. No, it's not. It's just not. He ended up being drafted last. And his contract was probably a little less than Shedeur's. The league minimum, possibly. The last quarterback to be drafted, and you was going to be number 1 or number 2 in 2024? And when you stayed in 2025, you took your team to the semifinals? That don't seem right, does it? So, shout out to Lenore Sellers. Go back to school. Get that bag. Get your stock up. They're going to devalue anyway because the Manning kid coming out. But at least maybe you'll be in the first round. And protect yourself. Know what it is and know what it is not. And every other kid coming out, y'all better stay in school and exhaust all of your eligibility and get that bag. Especially if you black. All right. So, congratulations to St. Augustine, Edna Carr. I'm happy to hear Lenore Sellers is getting a deal. Congratulations to South Carolina State Bulldogs for pulling off what seemed to be an impossible win against Prairie View with first-time head coach Tremaine Jackson. All right, so I did a lot of interviews, so I already put one of them together, and I posted a few, but I interacted with a lot of people. So I want to share some things, and then we're going to talk about the game tomorrow. Now, one of the interviews I'm sharing today, I'm sharing it because at the Celebration Bowl, I ran into somebody who lives in Chicago. So when I did my interviews today, I asked people, what's your message for Shedeur? And everybody was happy to give me a message. So that's going to be one of the interviews that I share today. Somebody that's from Chicago, but they rooting for Shedeur, and let you hear what they are saying. And then Shiloh had a fundraiser where it looks like he was selling, I think he was either selling or auctioning off his high school jersey, the number 21 from Trinity High School. And it was to raise money. The proceeds were going to like a food bank in Cedar Hill. So shout out to Shiloh. His last video got like over 300,000 views. We know the one where he had moved to Miami. And then, the one from Thanksgiving is in excess of 1.1 million. So Shiloh's doing well, right? So it's nice to see him involved, with his old high school, and, because I thought the school consolidated into another school. So it's nice that he was able to do that and auction off his jersey and raise money for a food pantry. Now, I want to say this. Shedeur, Coach Prime, and Shiloh. Now, I know Shedeur playing. Shiloh, you need to pop out. You need to pop out at one of these HBCUs events. I know football is over, but we'll be back next year. You need to pop out, bro. These people got mad love for y'all. Mad love for y'all. And I was on my stories and I saw something about the Celebration Bowl and I shared it with Coach Prime. And at the bottom, I said, it would have been nice. You got to pop out, sir. See, that's the thing about HBCUs. Once you in, you in. And at the Celebration Bowl, I was running around taking photos of all of the different merch that people were wearing from the different schools. Yes, South Carolina played Jackson State, but this is when everybody loved to rep their hoodies, rep their school. That's what I love about it. It's just like one big reunion, and I was filming people catching up and everything. Like the two ladies that I interviewed, the one lady from Chicago, they were Sarahs. And they just, I'm talking to one and the other one just came up. So I just say, hey, can I record y'all? So we're going to share that. Y'all got to go to the Celebration Bowl, bro. If y'all want to see some good competitive football, that's exactly what that was. And somebody put in the comments, you about to see some exciting football. Remember, I was already watching HBCU football this year. Why? Because I felt like it was just two races on the other side. I didn't like what was happening at Colorado with Coach Prime. I'm no fool. I knew what was going on. So I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to watch some racism-free football. And that's what I spent my football season doing, watching HBCU ball, like that game between Jackson State and Grambling. Man, that's the game. And then the game before the, I guess the SWAC championship. Oh, man. Prairie View versus Jackson State. Shocked that Jackson State lost. Just totally shocked. Hell, I'm shocked that Prairie View lost this game, but I ain't really sure they lost it. But I felt like Coach Tremaine Jackson, as aggressive as he is, I don't know if he pulled back a little bit. Because, you got a quarterback that threw for 412 yards. And when it was time to be critical and get the 2 points, he was going to run the ball. Like, I didn't get that, right? I know you want to protect the ball. So it's all about when to be aggressive. And I feel like he was aggressive 99.9% of the way. But did they get cheated with that touchdown by South Carolina State? It looked like the ref was ready to go. That's what I said. It was the fourth overtime. Hell, I left at overtime. I was like, okay, I gotta go. Everybody was like, damn, I got something else to do because it started at noon. So you got a whole day, and then you want to go into 4 overtimes. And I think the ref was like, yeah, it's a touchdown. I really felt like that's what he did. But what they say, you can't leave it up to the refs. And see, South Carolina State been here before. Jackson State has not, but they not rookies no more. I mean, Prairie View is not, but they not rookies no more. They'll be back. Coach Tremaine Jackson is really good. They had like a SWAC Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and you know who was inducted? That's why I said Coach Prime, it would have been great if he popped out. The athletic director for Jackson State that left Prairie View, went to Jackson State, and went and got Coach Prime, Ashley. I just remember his first name is Ashley. He was inducted into the SWAC Hall of Fame for his contributions, and should be, right? So, they had a lot of things like that. But the love, the vibe, just whether you saw people you knew or you met new people, right? It was just a vibe, and it was a damn good game. When Wheels put it up, I was like, damn, Wheels, I don't know if he ever put the Celebration Bowl up, but he showed love to it because it was a game. And, at halftime, I ended up talking to the bus driver from Prairie View that came on one of the buses, right? And Rico, shout out to Rico. And it was 21-0, and we were both like, damn, we shocked. We thought for sure this would be a back and forth game. We get back after halftime. I'm like, wait, what happened? I'm like, South Carolina State bench, they starting quarterback. I'm telling you, I don't know if other schools would have done this and put in their backup, and every time he got the ball, I swear he scored. His name is Ryan Stubblefield, and his Shedeur to Travis Hunter, his counterpart is number 21. Smith, I think. I don't know. All I know is 5 and 21, that connection. Man. I'm like, how you have this kid as a backup? Because the other kid, he didn't even score. So Chinnis Bears made a decision. And I felt like Chinnis Bears made a few aggressive decisions. Like on 4th down, he went for it. I mean, what you got to lose, right? This is where when you playing, if you know how to play blackjack, this is where you gotta double down on certain situations, and that's what he did. And they won the game. They won the game, even though it do look like maybe the ref was just ready to go, but it worked in South Carolina State's favor that they scored, and then Prairie View had an opportunity to answer and tie it up and go to a 5th, but instead of letting Cam Peters, who is trained by Daryl Colbert Jr., with 400 yards, instead of letting him throw a short pass, he was going to run it in. And I don't think that's what I would have did. But then again, nobody asked me, right? So that's just what I thought. So shout out to everybody over there at the Celebration Bowl for putting on a fantastic event right here in Atlanta. See y'all next year for sure. All right, so let's get into this interview. I want y'all to see this because it's cute, right? I don't even know if I asked their name. Sometimes I don't even ask people name, and I try to ask their at. But again, this was a reunion of 2 Sarahs. I think there were Zetas. So you'll kind of see. I was just trying to let them have their moment, right? Thank you. Another Shedeur. What's your message for Shedeur?
Do your thing. You got it. You got this thing. I'm from Chicago, but I'm rooting for you tomorrow. Let's go.
So anyway, again, I'm not. This is not my profession. I got the microphone over here while she over here. Then I remember to put it over there. But in the spirit of trying to get it together, in the spirit of trying to ask the right question, what's your message for Shedeur? She said, I'm from Chicago, but I'm rooting for you. So that was a sentiment all night. Like I asked everybody I talked to, about a message for Shedeur. I wasn't the only person with no Shedeur stuff on, right? In one of the posts that I had, I showed the guy who had this on, right? People saw me, they saw the shirt. He was like, oh my God, that's cute. Or they'll do this or whatever, right? So mad love. Shiloh need to pop out. Shiloh popped out at Edward Waters for their homecoming. Excellent. But since he graduated from Jackson State, I'm going to need you to get over there. Because, man, they got mad love for the Sanders. They just do, right? So hopefully next year we see Shiloh doing content with Jackson State, his alma mater. And I'm telling you, they would love it. They would love it. So go check out Shiloh's 21 jersey if you buy it, because we love Shiloh. The proceeds go to Cedar Hill, and Coach Prime and Shiloh and Shedeur. When y'all can't pop out. The HBCU world loves you. All right. Now, I want to share what some people are saying is reality and not a skit. They're saying this is reality and not a skit, but it hits so close to home. Even though it's a skit, it feels like reality. Let me know what y'all think.
Hey, yo, Coach, what you want us to run? Coach, what you want us to run?
Do I look like the offensive coordinator to you? Do I look like the damn offensive coordinator to you?
Glory to God.
God damn, get out my face.
Hey, it's coming to you. It's coming to you, baby. Yeah, let's go. Come on.
Hey, hold on. You're not Superman, all right? Don't get out there trying to be him.
What you mean?
I'm saying you're not Superman. You're a human, right?
Yeah.
All right, you're a human. I'm saying you could drop a ball or two, He'll catch one, but like drop a ball or two. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, so you want me to drop a ball?
No, I didn't say that shit. You mic'd up, ain't you? I didn't say that shit. I did not say that.
Oh, no.
I said you're human.
I don't understand what you're
just
saying.
Go, just go. Damn.
You
sorry anyway. You ain't finna catch shit.
I just don't.
Yeah, all right. Dylan, he not finna do that good. Don't even worry about it.
Now, here's what's funny. Yes, it's a skit. This is our RDC. He even has a deal with Adidas, I think. He's huge. My son and I watch basketball together, and he got me watching RDC. I think when LeBron maybe first got to the Lakers or something like that, because he always do the locker room skits. So I saw this skit that he did about Shedeur, because everybody's doing skits about Shedeur. All of the skit people doing skits about Shedeur. OG light skins and the two little brothers that do the skits. Everybody's doing a skit about how Stefanski mistreats Shedeur or sets Shedeur up to fail. So I'm gonna keep playing it, but a lot of people going into this game believing Stefanski gonna set up Shedeur, and they say all you have to do is look at who's injured. They say he desperate to keep Shedeur from getting 350 yards because half the damn team is injured.
44-yard pass from Shedeur Sanders caught. Touchdown by Fannin. Oh my God, the placement on that ball fucking amazing. This guy is. Why'd you drop that? Why'd you drop that fucking play, nigga?
Hell yeah. Yeah, let's Good go. job, team. Hey, coach, that was good. That was a good play, coach. That was a good play, coach.
Yeah, because that's one of them.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Hey, let me holler at you. You caught that ball like you Randy Moss out there.
That shit was crazy.
That shit was crazy. He's still tight end though, so it was like Gronkowski type shit.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Why the fuck you didn't do that shit with Dylan, nigga?
He never threw the ball to me, coach.
Yes, he did. He threw the ball.
But they weren't good passes. Don't
Don't say that shit again, nigga. Take the helmet off.
Coach, I don't understand. Are we not trying to win?
I think you racist, nigga. You ain't catch that. You ain't trying to catch like that with Dylan.
No, I'm not racist.
Don't do that again, boy.
What?
So, I mean, every aspect of how people feel, like when I was talking to people at the game today, this one guy, he said it, I ain't have to say nothing. I ain't lead him to it. And, I asked what was the message of for Shedeur, and he was just saying, keep doing you, don't let him hold you back. He said, it's racism. I'm like, yeah, because see, that's what people know. That's why they're doing these skits, right? They can just sit up and say it, but they are performing it so you can see how ridiculous it is. Right? And shout out to RDC. This one has gone viral.
Yeah. Small, nigga, like I said. Small.
See how he was pretending?
Don't do that shit for 12 no more. All right, y'all. One more.
You see how he was pretending and smiling for everybody else? I'm telling you, Stefanski cooked.
One more play. Sit this one out, Shedeur. Sit this one out. We're gonna run a trick play. Trick play never worked in my life, but we're gonna run it this time. Move, nigga. Y'all, come on.
All right.
Hand off, okay. Freestyle. Try to get in that end zone.
All right,
go.
Right, what's that?
Go, nigga. Go. God damn, nigga, don't listen to me. All good to God, to her.
So, the whole pretending, not wanting people to understand, the scam, not wanting people to catch on to how rude he is to Shedeur, setting up the trick plays, all of it. And people like, no, this is kind of reality. This is pretty much reality because, see how he was being rude to Shedeur. What's also going viral in addition to this clip right here and a lot of other clips? All of the skits are going viral. But the reality, the real clip from the Ravens game with 1 minute left, and Stefanski was intentionally ignoring Shedeur, so he didn't give him any instruction. See, that's the receipt right there that they can't walk back. They can't. There's nothing Mary Cabot could say. There's nothing any Browns media could say. That clip is picking up steam every single day. And that's what I meant by, well, we got receipts. Stefanski wanted people to see how rude he was being to Shedeur. He wanted people to know. He just didn't think he was going to get checked. What was I saying early on? His attitude was, who going to check me, boo? His attitude was, who going to check me, boo? The fans. That's who checked him. And I asked y'all last time we talked, I said, what made y'all, what's the reason y'all think they now forcing Stefanski to bend? A Colorado content creator said, because they robbed Shedeur. And now they're ready to capitalize. I don't think they're ready to capitalize. I think if you look at their content, they hyping up Myles Garrett. They hyping up as the future Harold Fanning Jr. They don't hype up Shedeur. I think the pressure is thick. I think they are posturing still. And I think that's why Shedeur was lackluster about the Hemi, because he know what the game plan is. You know, he see how many people are being put on the injured list that are needed on defense, right? Like Denzel Ward. Like, why is Denzel Ward not playing? Why is Dylan Sampson not playing? Dylan Sampson didn't get hurt in the last game, did he? Right? So it's more reality than it is a skit. So people are just really taking the skits and turning it into reality. I mean, that's just really what it is, right? So let me know what y'all think. So, you know, the game is tomorrow. We'll be live. We're doing a watch party. From what I can tell by surveying various platforms, different pages, comments, people believe Stefanski gonna set Shedeur up again. People believe the sabotage has already started with the personnel. We don't know the game plan until it unfolds, but Shedeur already knows the game plan. And I believe if it was tailored to his skill set like it's supposed to be. See, they said they wanted Stefanski to tailor the game plan for Shedeur to make these off-schedule plays. But they don't check him on the personnel. They don't check him on the play calls like the Wildcats. So that's why I think Shedeur is just lackluster. And no matter how much he has proven, they still want to, oh, well, let's get Mendoza. Oh, well, let's get Dante Moore. And I said, so you're not aware that Shedeur is better than Dante Moore and Mendoza. And here's the interesting part, right? They don't even know if them guys are good. I think the people who used to be Dylan fans that disappeared have resurfaced as the Mendoza bunch or the Dante Moore. They don't want Dante Moore. They just don't want Shedeur because they still like Dylan. They just don't want to admit that they were Dylan fans because Dylan is a bust. And they're talking about he could be good in the NFL. Okay, well, let's see where that happens at. Because that meant Stefanski failed him too. So we'll see. But y'all let me know. Do you think the game is going to be sabotaged? I think it is. I think it is. I'm just curious to see if y'all think he going to knock it off and let Shedeur play his game. This is not about skill, win or losing. This is about Stefanski still on that BS-ery, setting up Shedeur in another game, despite all of the posturing. Let me know your thoughts. All right, so I think this was the stats to the game I must have had up here. I wanted y'all to see these incredible stats to this game because it's unbelievable. This is why people said shit, Bears pulled off the impossible. Personally, I think the ref just wanted to leave. When you look at Ryan Stubblefield over here, the other guy was William Atkins. So, like I said, Atkins didn't get any points. They took him out right before the half and came back with Stubblefield. And as you can see, he lit it up, right? And then over here, you had Cam Peters. So they had two quarterbacks. I don't know who Cameron Bonner. That's just one of his receivers, I think. 24-36, 412 yards, 11 yards on average, 4 touchdowns. And Daryl Colbert Jr. is quite the celebrity now. The ladies that I interviewed, the Zeta, the one who said she was from Chicago, I didn't get it on camera, but she was asking me. She said, "Did you see Colbert?" I said, "Who?" She said, "The quarterback coach." I said, "Oh, Daryl Colbert Jr." She said, "Yeah, he's quite the celebrity." You see, just because the NFL don't see it, don't mean we don't see it. Again, you go to an HBCU space, an HBCU event, and they already liked you, they still like you. They still gonna show you love. So, you know, shout out to them for that. Cameron Peters, 9 carries for 35 yards. And you know, again, I don't know what made them give him that ball at the end, but I wouldn't have done that. Just because that kid got an arm on him, I think a short pass would have been it. But, you know, it is what it is. And this guy over here, Jordan Smith, 5 carries, 23 yards, 28 yards. This kid is a dog. This kid right here, Smith. They got two Smiths. They got Tyler Smith, but I remember number 5. Number 5 was pretty good. You can see right here, Stubblefield also with carries. These two right here, Jordan Smith, 5 and 2. Man, I thought it was 5 and 21. That might be their running back, but him too. Julian, yeah, him too. Him too. They got a squad over there. They got a squad over there. Now, what I would have loved to have done is had a conversation like with some of the parents, with some of the players. I would have loved to have talked to them because I'm curious. I'm curious to know, like with Cameron Peters, he's a senior. Like, what are his plans, right? This one father on TikTok, he said his son is somewhere between a second and a third round pick. And I don't know where he plays ball, but his son came to him and said, Dad, I don't want you to be upset at me, but I don't want to pursue a professional career. I got accepted into veterinarian school at Tuskegee, and I want to do that. And I was like, yay, because I told y'all, I said, one of these big name players, switch it on up. Now, Lenore Sellers not coming out. See, at a time before NIL, what they did to Lenore Sellers, they would have got away with, and he would have came out because of the money. But apparently, and maybe it's a good thing that South Carolina wants him to come back because he probably was thinking of hopping in the portal, and they like, well, just play for us. So I hope it works out for him. But I don't think I'm going to ever get over people offering me $8 million. So I hope he got somewhere close to it. I'm just glad he knows his worth. And I'm happy to see, I don't know who the player was, but I'm happy to see that somebody chose veterinarian school over the NFL. I'm happy for that. And then the quarterback for St. Augustine High School. I don't know if y'all know St. Augustine High School in New Orleans is an all-boy private school. All them kids go to college. Every last one of them. And I was looking at their quarterback. He was talking. He was buying a T-shirt for his mom for the game. And, he was real confident. He's going to lead St. Aug to a win. They went undefeated. I think they went 13-0 or 12-0. And I'm so curious. And I might find him and reach out to his mom because, you want to reach out to young people like that. Reach out to his mom and say, I would love to know. I have a podcast. I would love to know, what are his plans? Like, what is his future? What does he want his future to look like? Not what can he do? What does he want to pursue? Regardless if it's going to happen or not. I don't want to lead nobody and ask, do you want to go to the NFL? That's not what I want to know. I just want to know. A lot of these Black players that are not at these PWIs or not going to these PWIs, even what are they thinking about? Like Cameron Peters, I want to know what his plans are. The kid Stubblefield, want to know what his plans. Bonner, Smith, the other Smith, right? All of them, they dogs. I'm just curious, right? Because they go to HBCUs, and especially the quarterbacks, they don't generally get looks. These kids are dogs. I mean, I know what my plans are, but I'm curious to see what their plans are. Just because they know what time it is. They knew when they went to an HBCU, it was a possibility, right? It's not impossible. I mean, they do have, they have a HBCU Legacy Bowl. They have that game. They have something else new happening in Nashville. And then they have the HBCU all-team, like the all-star team. And then they have the HBCU combine. I think the combine need to be all the same. You could hold something separate, but from what I understand, the NFL will invite people from the HBCU combine into the overall combine. And I think only last year, out of all of those kids that they invited to camps, they only signed, I think they said one HBCU player, and he wasn't a quarterback. So I'm curious. So that's where y'all gonna see me in my next space, reaching out to some of these players, like the even the head coaches, like the head coach Bryce Brown over at Edna Carr. I saved his information. Another coach from some other program, I saved his information because I want to see what are they plans? Like, what do you want to happen for yourself? What are you pursuing? Not leading them to the answer. I'm just curious, right? Because it seems like at the PWIs, a lot of these kids, it's the NFL and that's all they talk about. but I don't think it's like that at the HBCU. So I kind of want to see what it's like for them. What are they? Are they like, yeah, I'm going to get my law degree? Yeah, I'm not really considering. I just use football to play for college. So I'm gonna be reaching out to people because I'm curious. I want to know what they see for themselves, what they want to pursue. All right, so that's the stats. As you can see, they were knocking it out the park. Go watch the highlights. Go to the channel called Wheels, WHEELS, and watch it. You will not be disappointed. So hopefully y'all can make it next year because I plan to be back. Lord willing, Lord willing. All right, so I have something else that I want to share with y'all before I head over to the comments. So let me do that. All right. So I had some posts that I flagged that I want to share with y'all. One was Lenore Sellers, but we already talked about him. And I think a lot of people are happy to hear that, you know, he's going back to school. I know I am. This is why I say people believe that Stefanski is setting up Shedeur, because I think he is. And last week, he used the personnel to weaken the O-line. So here we are, right? We have this man, he's about this man, Kevin, is getting desperate. It said after 12 put up 350 yards. You got Browns rule out cornerback Denzel Ward, tight end David Njoku, right guard Wyatt Teller, right tackle Jack Conklin, running back Dylan Sampson for Sunday's game against the Bears. Now understand this. I don't know why Denzel Ward is out, but I thought I heard Denzel Ward say he only got one target. And I felt like they were retaliating against Denzel Ward because he stood up for Shedeur and said, yeah, he's ready, along with Jerry Jeudy. And you saw what happened with Jerry Jeudy next. And then Myles Garrett, and you could kind of see something going on with Myles Garrett, right? So I say yes. There's no reason why Wyatt Teller can't play. He was the only one really blocking. Jack Conklin was dirt diving, so he don't need to play. But the second string guy, Cornelius Lucas, should be the one that's playing, not the third string that keep falling on, looking like a doughboy, KT Leviston. And then over there to the left, you got the leader dirt diving, Joel Batonio. I guess he must gonna be back because he was questionable. And then the guy next to him following the leader, Cam, whoever, number 68 or whatever his number is, the left tackle, falling on the ground, just like, you know, I'm like, you in the NFL and you playing like this? And there's no recourse. There's no consequences. But Shedeur overcame them last week. But he did throw a touchdown to Njoku, but we felt like he hurt his knee. He did throw a touchdown to Dylan Sampson. And I don't know why they're taking him out other than Shedeur connects with him. So it's like they're limiting who Shedeur's targets are, and they're telling the Bears it's going to be Harold Fanning Jr. Cedric Tillman was questionable, so I don't know if he's going to be there or not. Corley, the tight end, Shedeur connect with him. So everybody he connect with in the last game seemed like they somehow been, you know, questionable, or they're not going to be there. But Denzel Ward I find very interesting. And I'm going to pay attention to his targets going back from the beginning of the year to see. I'm looking at the date when he and Myles Garrett and Jerry Jeudy made those public statements that Shedeur was ready, and I want to see if his targets were reduced. Yeah, because I think that's what's going on. I thought I heard him say it. I only had one target. He's the star. Did you hear Shedeur say at Thanksgiving when Shiloh wanted the 21? He said, that's the franchise. Why is the franchise only getting one or two targets now? Retaliation. So I'm going to be looking into that. All right, so Denzel Ward, hold tight. And then we have Carl Anthony Towns holding up his wrist up. Somebody was at Mercedes-Benz, separate from today's event, and they said every stadium in the country going to be doing the wrist up. I totally agree. So everybody's showing Shedeur love because everybody's realizing. See, it was just football. It was like first the people paying attention to Cleveland. Then it became NFL fans, regardless of the team. Now you got the whole HBCU space talking about it, you know, at the Celebration Bowl, right? And, you know, now you got, you know, the basketball podcasters were already talking about it. Now you got the basketball players. These are people that are actually standing in solidarity with Shedeur because of how disgustingly he's being treated. And to me, shout out to all of the guys doing the skits. I don't know everybody's name, but I know RDC World. I know OG Light Skins. I know it's a set of brothers out there. I know it's people over here, this, that, and the other. Everybody doing a skit. Keep doing it because it's working. It's working because that's why they on the defense talking about Stefanski spent all of this time with Shedeur. No. Myles Garrett told us a few weeks ago, Shedeur was going to Stefanski to try to get Stefanski to see him. And they want to use it. Stefanski hasn't helped Shedeur do anything. And that's why that clip from the Ravens game with 1 minute left on the clock and Stefanski intentionally ignoring Shedeur, and people are doing a skit about that one too, is going viral. But they don't want to do anything. So that's why more people are lending their voice and their support, right? So shout out to everybody doing the skits. Keep doing it. Y'all using your voice. Keep using it. Keep popping out with receipts, right? All right, so I'm going to head over to the comments to see what we got going on here. Shout out to Mama Tia. Thank you, Mama Tia. It said, good evening, Nola. In chat, it said, the beautiful thing is Shedeur has found his niche. He knows Stefanski scams. Yes, and that's facts. It said, therefore, Shedeur is the winner in the end. The locker room is loud for 12. Right. Did you see how the players were rallying around Shedeur? Thank you, Mama Tia. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Rallying around Shedeur with the Hemi, and he couldn't get excited because he know he being set up. And yes, it is true that he overcame the O-line, but it's a shame that he has to go out here and beat Stefanski first. Who called it out? Several people have. I think Cam Newton said it, and Shady McCoy said it. He said Shedeur's enemy, basically the person he has to defeat every week, is not the opponent. It's Kevin Stefanski, and nobody has done anything about it. And Stefanski still has a job. And all they want to talk about is Mendoza and more. Why would he be any different if Stefanski's still there? The people protecting Stefanski are the people calling for Mendoza. They're not even calling for more. They just throw more in there because he black. And we don't want to appear what? Yeah. They want to use him like a pawn. I'm like, y'all better find somebody else's career to play with. I mean that. So I hope Dante Moore paid attention to what's going on with Shedeur and understand it's not about the Sanders. It's about 17-32. Understand that and what that means, right? So thank you, Mama Tia. I appreciate it. I appreciate the insight, and I appreciate the support for the channel. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who else we got in here. Hey, everybody. Hey, Faithful, how you doing? It said, ooh, the South Carolina, the Bulldogs game and PV Celebration Bowl game was off the chain. Yes, it was. 4 overtimes. I can't wait to hear Nola Girl's perspective, and she was live on the scene. Yeah, that game was something else. Man, that game was something else. But again, I felt like 99% of the way, Prairie View was aggressive, and for whatever reason, I have no idea. Maybe they felt like, and y'all some football people out here too, let me know your thoughts. There were 2 plays that I felt like they kind of gave the advantage to South Carolina. One, I think it was like 4th down and something. And I said, why they punting their ball back? And somebody was like, I think they want to go to overtime. I'm like, no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. And look what happened. I'm like, see, this is where you got to be aggressive with it. Do you want to put an end right here? Because see, if you tied up and you go to overtime, you are leaving it up to the refs. You are definitely leaving it up to the refs. And y'all went 4 overtimes. And I saw that, man. I saw the ref. I don't know why he was a ref, but I saw the ref. I was like, he just wanted to go home. He was like, I'm sick of this. I'm ready to go. A lot of people was ready to go. You know, people travel, got to get back on the road. And we just overtime. And that's not a bad thing. But you left it up to the refs. And sometimes when we kick the ball back to the opponent, if they were down and had no points at the half and came back like gangbusters, I'm not giving you the ball. I'm going to do my best to hold on to it if I got to sit on it. And I felt like that was a shift in the game. And then towards the end, right, the whole overtime thing, they just wanted to go home. That's all. And yeah, when you look at the touchdown, it don't look like he crossed the pylon. It really doesn't. When they look at the aerial view, when they look at it from the left, it don't look like he crossed the pylon. But the problem is, when it was Prairie View's time to answer and get 2 points, get 2 points or try to score, whatever the hell it is, Prairie View could have answered with. I don't even know what the hell he was trying to do. The point is, the quarterback that got 419 yards and only 25 rushing yards, 25 yards, not 419 in the air, and only 25 yards on the ground. And I don't think that was the right call. I just don't think that was aggressive. I think you needed to come up with a better play because that red zone defense ain't letting him get in there. These people been here before. They want to win. They had 0 points at the half. They smell blood. They tied it up 38-38. You want to just run in the ball with your quarterback. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. That's my POV. Let me know yours. All right. So who else we got? Let's see. Who else is this? Oh, Mama Tia says Stefanski should be on the bench with Dylan. Yeah. Stefanski should be fired. It's really egregious that he hasn't been fired. I think everybody pretty much sees that Stefanski is the problem. I think people know the way they're scrambling, trying to protect him. Mama T and everybody else, I think everybody knows that Stefanski has made himself a liability. I think everybody knows that he violated Shedeur Sanders' civil rights. I think they all know, which is why they all scrambling and making excuses. What don't make sense is if the playoffs are already over and there's nothing you could do about that, and clearly that wasn't your goal, and when it became a possibility, you made sure it didn't happen. What the hell does he still work there for? Honestly, he already made Deshaun's life hell, trying to break him down to Dylan. He knew he couldn't do that to Shedeur, but he was trying. That's why they talking about these off-schedule plays. I think everybody knows Stefanski's pretending and plotting when the camera's off. I think everybody knows that. But it's disgusting. Can't nobody do nothing about it. That's the part that gets me. That's the part that gets me. And I feel like that might be why some of these players who get accepted into advanced degree programs are choosing their advanced degree programs. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them, right? Because there's no accountability. There's no accountability. They want to run it like it's a whites-only country club. And somebody referred him, and we know his daddy, so we're going to protect him. That's going to be the beginning of the end. That's why they're trying to run off and snatch up flag football as much as possible for men and for women. I need some goodwill around here. They're gonna screw that over too. Just wait. Just wait. And say, hey, everybody, I'm late, but ready to get caught up. Okay, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you again, Mama Tia. I appreciate you. I just hate that there's no accountability. I just hate that Shedeur has to overcome Stefanski and not just the opponent. I think it's disgusting that there's no accountability. And that's probably what I'm going to be talking about to the end of the season, because it's obvious. It's obvious you don't want to hold him accountable. I don't know if you know where the bodies are buried at, because he's going to burn you either way at some point, if not now, later. But you'd rather everybody see the corruption. Stefanski don't give a damn about the fans. That's what irks me. It's all about him. Because he a spoiled Nepo baby. And Haslam letting it happen. So I guess the consequences going to come from somewhere. They're going to come from somewhere. It's excited for the game tomorrow. Yes. Don't forget, we go live at 1 o'clock. I'm looking for the first play of the game when the Browns get the ball to see what it's like. I do believe that given the defense on the Browns, who somebody talking about, I think the Browns defense is overrated. I'm like, here we go. How's the number 2 defense overrated? Because they know what time it is. They know exactly what's getting ready to go down. They showed Myles Garrett coming off the plane, looking like he had on this little bear hat. You know, he's supposed to be breaking the record. Instead of him getting his 4 sacks or 3 sacks in one game and one in another one, instead of it happening organically, they let him get one at a time. Let's see how many they let him get on Caleb. If they only let Caleb get sacked once with Myles Garrett, this the fix is in. Remember, Stefanski's not the offensive coordinator. He's the head coach. So he is suppressing and manipulating the offense and suppressing and manipulating the defense by way of personnel and probably play calling too. So understand that. It's just sad. It said, good evening, good evening, good evening. It said, peace and blessings. It said, peace and blessings. Hey, Tina, how you doing? How you doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, beautiful people. Hey, Darn Stemble, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's go, let's go. HBCU, yep. You know. Shout out to South Carolina State, yep. HBCU love. HU, yep. I still have some other interviews too to package up, and I'm probably just going one at a time, or I might string them up together, something like that. But I got to work on it. But I had fun. I had fun interacting with people. I had fun watching the game because I was shocked when I came back from halftime, and I said, "When the hell did South Carolina get 2 touchdowns?" Because at the half it was 21-0, and somewhere in the third quarter they had 14 points. I was like, "When the hell did this happen?" And it was just on after that. It was just on, and they smelled blood, and they went for it. It said that was one exciting game. It sure was. And I have a feel, I'm telling y'all, HBCU football next year, with Marshall Falk going over there, I can't wait to find out who else going. FAMU dismissed their coach. Y'all know who I want to go to FAMU. But it's okay. We're going to see who end up at FAMU. They need to get somebody too. I don't know who it is, who it will be, but they need to get somebody. And FAMU got resources. So hopefully they can get them a Coach Prime, Deshaun Jackson type coach. Hopefully. I think that's great, actually. So we'll see what FAMU does. Boy, you let FAMU get going again. See, they had Willie Simmons, but now Willie Simmons is at FIU. So, and don't be surprised. I'm shocked that they haven't come for Chennis Bears. I'm shocked. He said something about he was on some call with some kind of call. He said, I'm on those calls with, I guess, other NFL coaches. He said, I only get one question, whereas they get all the questions. I'm like, see what I'm talking about? And I don't want him to leave. I want them to build up these HBCU programs. I want a Chennis Berry, Deshaun Jackson, Coach Prime, Marshall Falk. I'll head over there to FAMU. And then somebody go to Grambling. Fill them 2 right there. Oh, who at Tennessee State? Get somebody over there. Fill in Tennessee State, Grambling, and FAMU, and it's on like popcorn. I'm serious. Yeah. Get somebody like a Deshaun Jackson who can, in the first year, Coach Prime, first year, second year, back to back. I'm telling you, you get 3 of them at those strategic universities, Grambling, Tennessee, and FAMU, it is on. And that's all we need. That's all we need. I don't even know who would be interested, but they talk amongst themselves, right? Like Michael Vick talked to Coach Prime about it when he was thinking, right? And maybe somebody else, reached out to Coach Prime, and Coach Prime was very encouraged Marshall Falk to apply. So hopefully Coach Prime gets somebody over there at FAMU if it's not him, because I think it should be him. But see, they the types over there, and these PWIs, when they realize what's happening, they're like, oh, we ain't let Prime go because he's just going to go over there. So, but that's okay, because there's more than one way to, do something. So Coach Prime, they probably talking amongst themselves to see who they could get. I know they were already talking about, was it Ed Reed going to Grambling or somebody else? But they've been talking. I need them 3 schools with those kind of powerhouse first-year coaches coming from the NFL, black coaches. It's on. And watch what happens. It's get that bag. That's right. Stay in school and get that bag. Maximize your eligibility. Get that master's. Get that bag. Shout out to Darian Mensah at Duke. He was offered $8 million, $4 million for year one, $4 million for year two to leave Tulane and go to Duke. He got the $8 million bag. I don't hear his name in no NFL conversation, and I wouldn't give a damn because he make more than he was gonna make anyway. You see, get that bag, get that degree. That's what I say. Get that master's. Shiloh got his master's on them. So that's what you need to do. That's why I want to talk to people. I want to take the pulse of people in the space, actively getting ready to come out, whether it's high school, going to college, or college, moving on to advanced degrees or to whatever it is they're going to do next. I just want to see what they're thinking. And I want to see what led them to their decisions. I'm happy about it. Personally, I'm waiting on one of these players from PWIs to go, you know what? I'm straight. I'm straight. Because fans are seeing it, right? The racism. It's disgusting. And it's time for people to stop tiptoeing about it and call it what it is. Right? ESPN want to send Shedeur an award. How about you hold Kevin Stefanski accountable? Let me see you do it. That's why I say screw them. They just want his fan base to go watch them. Always look for the play because it's always there. Exploitation. It said Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman, Indiana University. Well, congratulations to Fernando Mendoza. Yeah, congrats to him. And hey, Bridget, how you doing? How you doing? It said Bryce is headed to LSU. I've heard. Didn't I say that? I said Oregon or LSU. I don't like that. I don't like that because of the way LSU treat their black athletes. Louisiana girl here. NOLA girl here. Oh, well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? So what's gonna happen to Trinidad Shambliss? Is he coming out this year? I need to go look. I need to go see where everybody is because I knew who was coming out. I know Lenora Sellers thinking about going back. Dante Moore, I don't know for sure if he's committed. I guess he playing in like the playoffs. So we'll see what happens with that. They trying to get Marcus Freeman to leave Notre Dame, talking about sending him to New York where they want to chew him up and spit him out and pretend they not what? Because of Shedeur. His name was circulating with Cleveland or the Giants. Shedeur. Duh. So I need to just sit down and take stock and see where everybody is. Hey, Amber, how you doing? Let's see. It said, he's our quarterback. Gamecock Nation. It says, Sellers not Spencer Rattler went to New Orleans Saints. It said, neither guy is or was better than Shedeur. I mean, I agree with that. But that's right. Spencer Rattler went to South Carolina. Okay, I think I know that. Okay. I don't know why I thought he was at Oklahoma, but okay, that's fine. Good evening. It said, did you see Cam Newton? He pointed out that they brung old Phillip Rivers back before offering him a job. Yes. It said he knew exactly why they ain't call him instead. It said everyone is starting to see. Yep. Well, he said it was his personality. And I said in the comments, no, Cam, you on 4 TV shows. It's not your personality. It's racism. So I know he had a sit down with Jamel Hill. So hopefully they had an authentic conversation. And based on what you're saying, maybe he's moving off of it's his personality. So it's racism. Yeah, they should have called him. Right? Why not? Just like with the coaching scenario. The only black coach they even mentioning is Marcus Freeman. And what did Marcus Freeman do at the Natty last year? Right. It's disgusting. It said, do the damn thing. You're welcome. Thank you, Vermont. It said, everyone just want to beat JSU. It said, they don't care about nothing else. That's right. Why? Because, they were the powerhouse. I was shocked. I was shocked that Jackson State lost that game. I really was. And even their backup was good. See, the HBCUs got good starters and backups. So when you can sit your starter down because he ain't got, hot yet. And then you got number 11, who I cannot remember number 11's name. And Amber told me what it was, and I still don't remember. But I know who the hell Ryan Stubblefield is. I'm like, I ain't gonna never forget that kid. Man. So, yep, I want to know what all of them getting ready to do. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Hey, McMillan, how you doing? Ashley Robinson, that's his name. Who was Ashley? That's all I know. Thank you, Amber. Thank you. Go South Carolina State. Yep. One thing about South Carolina State, and I said it, I'm on camera. I might need to post it. I don't know. It was when they scored, not the 14 points, but when they made another touchdown, I said, oh, here goes South Carolina doing South Carolina things. One thing about them, they have no quit. I swear, it's like Coach Chennis Bears got some kind of vote over there. Like, how do you come back from being 21-0 at the half? I know Prairie View thought they had that game. We were all like, damn, this is easier than I anticipated. But the moment you could see the tide shifted, you could feel it on the field. Prairie View players was like stunned. Like, what the hell is going on? And when they tied that game up 38-38, I was like, God, we're going to be here all night. We're going to be here all night. And when I got home, I was shocked that it was 4 overtimes. I'm like, geez. Good game, though. I'm looking forward to next year. I can't wait. I can't wait now. Alabama State, y'all need to step it up. Y'all got Andrew Body over there. Y'all better do something with him before somebody else get it. I'm just saying. South Carolina State is a beautiful school too. It says, old coach Buddy Pugh was that man. He was a team coach and will fight you over his players. Top tier HBCU notable coach here. Mama Tia, was Coach Buddy Pugh the coach at South Carolina State when Coach Prime played them JSU in the Celebration Bowl? That's I went to that one. I think it was a different coach. It wasn't Chennis Bears. I think it was Buddy Pugh. I'm assuming he just retired, huh? I'm assuming he just retired. It said from one HBCU alum to another one. You are exactly right about HBCU love. It's the HBCU homecoming vibes are like the Super Bowl. I attended every Celebration Bowl that Jackson State played in. Yes. And I was talking to people from Jackson State because they was there. And everybody was laughing after they lost that game because they had made travel plans. They had made their hotel reservations. And hell, some of them still showed up. And I got quite a few people in their JSU gear. I'm telling you, you're going to want to come. It was white people. A lot of white people was there. See, Prairie View got a lot of white people over there too. So y'all need to come on. Y'all need to come on, get. And if you didn't go to HBCU, who cares? Just go get your favorite HBCU hoodie. I don't care if it says Spelman on it, Morehouse, or the one for the city that you live closest to. And come on to the Celebration Bowl next year because it's going to be lit. It's going to be good next year because, we're getting better coaches and FAMU still got to get somebody. And I still wish it was Coach Prime, but okay, maybe Coach Prime can recommend who it should be. I know these men are talking. I know they're talking. So, and I just wanted, the HBC world to be welcoming to Deshaun Jackson because he did so well. But after today, I understood why Chennis Bears won Coach of the Year. I got it. I felt like he already a legend. Just give it to Deshaun Jackson because he was the first year. We want to keep him, because they going to poach. They going to poach. Understand that. If y'all serious about Coach T.C. Taylor going to USM, that's a change right there. Right? That's another change in less than 5 years. Instability is a weapon. So, but good luck to T.C. Taylor if it happens. But Memphis, now you got to watch for Memphis next year because they got Corey Phillips from Colorado doing as the GM of the team. And then you got that coach from Marshall that was at USM. They must have paid him a bag to go to Memphis because he was only at USM for a year. And when he left Marshall, all of his players hopped into the portal and went with him. And the ones that are still eligible probably going with him to Memphis. So Memphis going to be the one to look for next year to pop on out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if Coach T.C. Taylor go over there, is he from Jackson? I know Coach T.C. Taylor went to Jackson State, but is he from Jackson? Like, you know how some people who were on Colorado staff wanted to go back home to Mississippi? I mean, USM is still in Mississippi. I wonder if he's going to take that job. We'll have to look at that. We're going to have to look at that because I wonder who will be next in line at Jackson State. I mean, I like the move, right? Because I do feel that it gives the next man up the opportunity rather than somebody have to wait and somebody to have a funeral to get the damn job. I hate that, right? So I like it. What I don't want is for them to distract him from what's working, like I feel like they did Coach Prime, for the sole purposes of disruption. I want it to be a legit opportunity and not, I just need you over here because y'all getting too much love over there or y'all getting the recruits or whatever. I want you to bring that over here. And then just for a minute, and then I'm going to kick you out. I don't want it. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I want it to be an organic opportunity for growth. All right. God bless everyone. Yes. It said there's nothing like HBCU, the excitement, camaraderie, pageantry, and fellowship facts. And I was thinking about the Louisiana State high school championship between St. Aug and Edna Carr. And I told you they both got bands. For one, they both schools are purple and gold, different color gold. St. Aug is purple and old gold, and Edna Carr is just like purple and just like yellow, just yellow. But they still vying for the best band in the city. But St. Aug gonna always get it. Edna Carr's band director is or was J5, drum major at Jackson. See, all of this people coming out of New Orleans, going to all of these HBCUs, and then they elevate to band directors at the high school level, or then they move on to college. The drum majors move up. See, it's just like, that's why when you go to an HBCU event, it just feels like a big homecoming. Like, I'm over here in Atlanta. I don't even really know other than where Juju went to school. I don't really know what's going on around here with high school. But here, I'm over the moon that in the whole state of Louisiana, the two teams who were undefeated to vie for the championship came out of the city of New Orleans. I'm looking at they coach and this, that, and the other. And they just he probably going to get lifted and picked up for one of these HBCUs, right? That's how it goes. That's just how it goes. So shout out to all the Black people. Doing pretty good. This was a good weekend. This was a good win. Now I need Shedeur. To overcome Stefanski and just put the little cherry on top. That's all I need. It said, yes, Ashley Robertson is Jackson State's athletic director and vice president. He is an alum of Mississippi Valley. Okay, so he went to Mississippi Valley. I interviewed somebody from there. Okay. It said your merchandise literally sells itself. Well, thank you, Devastating. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And it's funny. I want y'all to know people was looking at it and they could see Shedeur's name, and it was like, does that say Shedeur? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a Shedeur Sanders fan. And they were like, wow, I like that. But now they picking up the term Shedeurian. So, it's just people uniting, around Shedeur. And that's what I want, right? Make sure y'all go vote for Shedeur for the Pro Bowl. It ends on the 15th. So y'all have 2 more days, tomorrow and Monday. So hopefully if y'all haven't voted for Shedeur already in the Pro Bowl, just Google it. NFL Pro Bowl votes. And it comes up, sponsored by Pepsi. Go to the quarterbacks, go to the bottom, because they got it by yards. It's not a tally, it's by yards. So Shedeur's near the bottom because they just let him start playing. See, that was strategic, right? Now you see the effects of holding him back. Now, here's what I want to know. Since they said Shedeur is the only quarterback to win Rookie of the Week, the Pro Bowl nod, Shedeur should be in there because Cam Ward is in there, and so is Jackson Dart, and neither one of them are Rookie of the Week. So I think that opens the door for Shedeur. And with that being the case, that should tell you Stefanski and others are trying to hold this young man back. I feel like I'm just praying hard as I can in my heart. I'm like, Lord, please let him overcome them. Just please, just let it happen. Right? Don't let them win this fight. But hey, God's will, right? We just got to see what it is. We just got to see. It said, in the spirit, it said, you're growing day by day, respect. Facts. It said, if he's not playing, if he's not playing, let me know who you're talking about, Bridget. It said, Miak in the house. Yep. It said, that's right. It said, Miak in the house. It said, they need to fire Stefanski. He's not fit to coach. Right. He should be banned from the NFL for fraud, for corruption. And I don't know why they want to hang on to such a liability, but that tells me that they feel like they got protection. Okay. Because if I know who your protection is, okay. You thought you were safe twice? Oh, okay. 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 Until they want something. Okay. All right. We're going to see what time it is. It said, when your biggest op is your coach. Right. Like, God damn. Like, this is crazy. And I'm telling you, being at the game day, there was never a thought was anybody cheating other than when they got to the end of the game and the ref wanted to go home. I know that's what it was. I know that's what it was because he won us. I was like, why is he the ref? Like he just wanted to go home. I was like, that was not a touchdown. And then Coach Willie Simmons came out and said something about there's an imaginary plane that if you break it, it don't matter if the body part is just about the ball. I'm like, Coach Willie Simmons, from the aerial view, that ball did not break the plane. But the ref, he just wanted to go home. And somebody said it. Never leave it up to the refs. What did we learn from rolling with Coach Prime at Colorado? You can't let the refs decide because they gonna cheat you. And I think this particular ref, if you go watch the highlights, he just wanted to go home. Or over times, he was like, the hell with that. Susie got dinner for me, so I'm gonna go. That's what it was given. 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 Okay, it said, yes, Nola, it was the 2021 Celebration Bowl. Coach Prime and Pugh were the current coaches. Excellent men. Yep. Yep. So I don't know if we're going to ever see Coach Prime back coaching in HBCU space. I would like to see it. Like I said, I want those 3 schools, that the aforementioned schools, I want those filled in, you know, with some winners. Like, you know, Deshaun Jackson, Coach Prime, you know, hell, Tremaine Jackson. And Tremaine Jackson already said, if his athletic director gone, he gone too. I was like, ooh, that's an indictment, right? I'm like, don't say that out because they'll make that happen tomorrow. He sure said that. He said, if my AD leaving, I'm gone too. I'm like, damn. So we shall see. We shall see. So those ADs are very critical to the programs, right? So yeah, you see Ashley still at he looked so hurt when Coach Prime was gonna leave. And it wasn't just about Coach Prime leaving, it was about the way the school was acting. So when Tremaine Jackson said, my AD is a real one. And matter of fact, remember I told you I ran into one of the bus drivers, shout out to Rico. He said, normally we all travel in multiple buses. He said, but they flew the team in. And I thought about what Tremaine Jackson said about his AD. That's why he said, if my AD go, I'm out. Because, you know, look at that's exactly what happened to Coach Prime. It wasn't the AD. Ashley was good and still is, right? And already been back to the SWAC since Coach Prime left. It was the president. So what Tremaine Jackson is saying, he needs somebody to stand up to the school to get the football program the respect and the resources. So shout out to Tremaine Jackson for that. And then Daryl Colbert Jr.'s father is over there. I don't know who he is, but he's over there too at Prairie View. So we got to keep an eye on him. I got to tell you, next year it's going to be lit. It's going to be lit. So congratulations to the HBCUs for leveling up despite them coming to get Coach Prime so they could get Travis, because that's what it was. All right, so let me see what else we got going on in here. Stefanski has to work in a tightrope. It said the game is national. He don't care. He don't care. You're right, but he don't care. It's the outside pressure from 12 million followers and counting, right? And don't forget the HBCU space. That's facts. Bye, Stefanski. That's what I say. Kevin Stefanski ignoring Shedeur in the Ravens game. So now reporters are saying that Kevin Stefanski is the reason why 12 has been successful. Right. Because they don't want to admit what he been over there doing. They see, that's how you know he in trouble. Because they trying to clean it up. They trying to do damage control. But we got receipts. And them receipts are going viral. All glory to God. Facts. It's that I just thought it's early. It's too funny. Oh, y'all talking about RDC? Yeah, that's crazy. It's that, have you seen the anime Shedeur Files? Yes, I love the Shedeur Files. I love the Shedeur Files. I don't know who created that channel, but shout out to them. Yeah, I already gave them a salute. We shared one of the, I forgot which one we shared, but I know they have one out now where they talking about the little people over there at the little radio station, the 92 people. They going in on them. I haven't watched it yet, but maybe we'll watch it tomorrow. But the Shedeur Files are hilarious. People say, okay, this channel is very much needed. I'm like, yes. And, you know, it might be anime. It might be, you know, but it's reality, just like the rest of these skits out here, right? Everything is going viral. And it's all basically the truth is being put out. And Cleveland wants to ignore it, but it's hard to ignore it. Because like y'all said, 12 million people and the HBCU space, you know, they see what's going on too. So yes, I love the Shedeur files. So yes, Shedeur's biggest op is Kevin Stefanski, and people have called it out on Speak Easy. I know Cam is calling. People been calling it out, right? It said what's going viral is in Thursday's interview with ESPN Cleveland, Shedeur states in certain players he hears his dad's. In certain plays, he hears his dad's response in his ears. He's prepared him. Shedeur's know, yeah, Shedeur know what time Stefanski is. When Shedeur's saying trust, who you think he's talking about? It ain't just the players that keep dropping the ball. Right? I think we all know it's Stefanski. No, Shedeur's smart. And I love how he's like, yeah, I might not be here next year. I love that. That's the perfect attitude. That's the perfect attitude because they don't even want to celebrate him anyway. They doing the same thing the media did when Shedeur was at Colorado. They made it all about Travis, like Travis was out there throwing the ball to himself. They made it all about Travis, but all of Shedeur's receivers weren't brought into the league. And honestly, most of them got devalued because they didn't want to admit. They didn't want to admit that Coach Prime had an elite group of receivers. Nobody ever said out loud that 14 or 15 people from Colorado got invited in some capacity for the NFL. They didn't want to say it because they want Coach Prime to go away and they don't want Shedeur to elevate the game like he already is. When Michael Strahan, yeah, I know what he said at first, but when Michael Strahan came back and said he gonna reach championships before he turned 30. Don't forget, AI already said he gonna be an MVP before he turned 30 in Minnesota, and they got a quarterback problem. See, AI know what time it is. We just talking stats, right? And that's what I enjoyed about the game today. I was just looking at the stats. I was enjoying the competition. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, oh my God, what's getting ready to happen? I'm not, oh, they cheating. Do you see they cheating? Only in the NFL. Only the Cleveland Browns, because I don't really watch nobody else. Somebody I was interviewing was like, what about the Falcons? Do you? I'm like, no. No. I can't dish too much. You gotta isolate. I gotta isolate. I pay attention holistically, but I can't get into all these cheating scandals because I already know they're trying to get rid of Raheem Morris. I already said look for the defensive coordinator to become a head coach. I'm too engrossed in what's going on with Shedeur. I know what's going on with Michael Penix Jr. because I already said it, but somebody else got to pick up that fight. I'm like, it's me versus Cleveland, so or the Browns. So, no, I don't pay attention to the Falcons. Same thing is happening wherever they got a black quarterback. I even interviewed somebody and asked them. I don't think I was at the game yet. I don't know where I was. And wherever I was, the person didn't know who Shedeur was. They said they were a Ravens fan. Oh, at dinner last night. Yeah, I always grab somebody at dinner. And they were like, I think I had this shirt on, or no, I didn't. I had on the Bengals. But somehow we were talking about football. And they were saying they were a Ravens fan. And I was like, oh, okay, you a Lamar Jackson fan. They said, yeah. I said, do you think Lamar Jackson is being cheated? And they were like, no. I was like, damn, see, this is what I mean, right? I was like, you really think that? Then I was like, you know about Shedeur Sanders? And he didn't know who Shedeur was. So I just let the conversation go because I don't know how you don't know who Shedeur is at this moment. No disrespect. No disrespect. No disrespect. I know when it's time to move on. I know when it's time to move on. I'm like, he must be a casual fan. Because I don't know how you don't think Lamar Jackson getting cheated. Come on now. Come on. Everybody see that. Mendoza got the Heisman. Yes, congratulations to him. It says Shedeur did a really nice interview with Cleveland media. The guy said he had a friend come in from Australia just to see Shedeur. Yep. Shedeur, I mean, you know how many people going to be watching this game tomorrow? Matter of fact, let me see who playing tomorrow in the 1 o'clock space. And I'm going to tell you what games they're going to be watching. Remember last time they played in the 1 o'clock space? Let's see. It was like 4 games. And all of the quarterbacks were black except for like the Jaguars or somebody like that. So let's see who we got tomorrow. All right. So we have the Bengals and the Ravens at 1. So that's Lamar. The Raiders and the Eagles Geno Smith versus Jalen Hurts, and the Eagles should win that game, but they've been cheating the Eagles. Then you got the Cardinals, Texans, again, 2 black quarterbacks in a 1 o'clock space, and then you got the Chargers and the Chiefs. That's Pat. And then you have the Bills and the Patriots. And then you have the Jets and the Jaguars. And then you have the Commanders and the Giants. And then you have the Browns and the Bears. Now, let's see who they got tomorrow late. I'm curious to see who's late tomorrow. Because, the Dallas Cowboys had the most primetime games. I'm like, when the last time they won something? And Philly had the 6th most primetime games. I'm like, didn't they win the Super Bowl? But the owners, I'm like, they trying to give Jerry Jones everything. I don't know what's going on with him, that they trying to get him something. It's like they trying to hurry up and get him a Super Bowl. So I don't know. Maybe he got something going on with him. Sunday at 4 o'clock, the Falcons and the Cardinals. Here it is at 8:20. It's 2 games on at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, right? The Patriots and the Ravens. Paul Lamar. I hope he win. And the 49ers and the Colts. So here's the question. They probably want Brock Purdy to win anyway. Question. Is Phillip Rivers playing tomorrow, or is he gonna come like next week or toward the end of the week? And have y'all heard anybody else talking about them passing over Cam and not like talking about the situation where they should have asked Colin Kaepernick or Cam? Let me know if y'all heard anybody else talking about it. I'm curious. They said Dylan fans calling for a QB being drafted. Right. I'm like, because the way that the Dylan fans go, they just gone. Like, and I think they trying to come back out now. I think they trying to peek their head out. I'm like, I want y'all to know. I didn't see Haslam at Indiana. I keep saying that. I'm like, that man took Andrew Berry to Ohio State versus UT. So chances are he wanted one of those quarterbacks. And if I had to guess, it's the Manning kid. And he not coming out to 2027, which is why I think they don't want to fire Stefanski. They're going to keep him 1 more year. And they know Shedeur cannot stay there with Stefanski. So they trying to fix it. They trying to fix it so they can hold on to Shedeur and hold on to Stefanski. And when the Manning kid come out, they just going to get rid of everybody. And it's crazy how they keep saying about firing Andrew Berry. I'm like, what the hell did Andrew Berry do? People are saying the Browns actually won the draft if you look at that rookie class. I'm like, so how you firing Andrew Berry if they got the best rookie class? You got a franchise quarterback for $975,000 instead of $13 million this year. And you're gonna fire Andrew Berry because you want to fire Stefanski, and you don't just want to fire Stefanski. So they keep lumping in Andrew Berry. Isn't that crazy? And they asked Mike Tomlin about being on the hot seat. He said, I've been on the hot seat for 19 years. I don't care about that. They've been trying to fire that man for 19 years. He has not had a losing season, but he on the hot seat, and they over there covering for Stefanski. This is why I like HBCU football. I don't see none of this happening on the field, right? I just see people playing football and somebody trying to win. That's it. And I'm sure they got some kind of weird politics happening, but it's not a cheating scandal. We're not out here abusing the quarterbacks on our own team, right? Just crazy. The Browns still setting up their own quarterback. So don't forget, we'll be live tomorrow, guys. 1 o'clock, 12:50 for sure. Give me 10 minutes to set up and we'll be live at 1. It said later for the Cleveland media in their sabotage, right? It said hopefully 12 will be traded to another franchise that needs a starter. Yeah, with the owner still colluding, I don't know. It said he started the setup, but has to switch it up now. Right, he does have to switch it up because everybody watching. Everybody is eating off tomorrow's game, just like Boulder. Yep, you're right. You're facts about that. And what were they talking about? What is Shedeur Sanders fans? I'm like, y'all got people watching the Browns games that wasn't watching Browns games. There's the Shedeur Sanders fans. They talking about coming to the stadium. I'm like, oh, So now you want Shedeur Sanders fans to come to the stadium because Browns fans aren't coming to the stadium and let your tickets be $7. Now you want us to show up. Isn't that something? Said Browns front office has more to gain from tanking than winning. Actually, they don't. They really don't. You know why? Because the Manning kid not coming out. They don't have nothing to gain by taking. They got 2 first-round picks. They got the number 5 pick. What they tanking for? You just trade up with Tennessee because they don't need that pick. They ain't want the one from last year. They don't want this one either. Then as the number 2 pick, you can get that one. The number 3 pick, you can get that one. The number 4 pick, you can get that one. But the Manning kid not coming out till next year. If they thought they was getting somebody else, I think they would let Stefanski go. Because are you really going to bring in another quarterback and let him set them up and start this cycle all over again and people just go in on you and not show up at all? That's crazy. I think they bide in time with this whole Shedeur. We want Stefanski to bend and Shedeur to play the off-schedule plays or whatever. Although we let Stefanski set Shedeur up. I think that's posturing. And I think they want to try to keep Shedeur next year. And they're going to trade him when the Manning kid come out. That's what I think. Now, don't be surprised what I said. The little surprise of the draft. Don't forget, Sharon Moore is somewhere with an ankle monitor on. So his team is in shambles. And supposedly Bryce Underwood is hopping in the portal. So I doubt he played in the Cheez-It Bowl. And you know who's playing in the Cheez-It Bowl? Michigan versus Arch Manning in the University of Texas. What you think gonna happen if they win that game in spectacular fashion like they did Ohio? He gonna come right on out. Why? Because ain't nobody promised tomorrow. Lenore Sellers ain't coming out. There's his face. I have to sneak him into the first round because he ain't like that unless he go out here and beat a disrupted Michigan and the media do its thing like they were already trying to do. And he just surprised. I ain't convinced till the damn day of the draft. Then when it's over, then I'm gonna be convinced he ain't coming out. I'm not convinced by that. They saw what happened to Drew Allard. They know what happened. Well, hell, they the ones that did it to Quinn Ewers. I don't know who coming out afterwards, but I know if Lenore Sellers is going back to school, he coming out, and it's going to be hard for Arch Manning to look better than the Lenore Sellers in 2027. See, you had to knock Lenore Sellers out. So don't be surprised. I told y'all the whole time of this, they knew what was going on, and they waited. It's documented they waited until after signing day. And then what's the next game? The Mannings. I told you, when they keep popping up, you can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. And I want you to listen to Rizzo talking about cleaning house because he is an advocate for Peyton Manning taking over and running the club. To hell with Andrew Berry. I'm like, damn, y'all some backstabbers. Pay attention. Manning kid. Let's see what happens. That's why I think they hanging fast and loose with Shedeur. They don't want to say out loud, he's our future, because they're not saying it. I know this. I'm like, okay, you don't want to say Shedeur is your franchise because somebody might be a little undecided. And if you claim Shedeur as your franchise, you might miss out on somebody that might change their mind. But if his family can convince him that he can go first round 4 or 5 by way of a trade up one space, because they could trade that 5th pick to the 4th pick or the 4th to the 5th to the 3rd. I don't have to lose. And you're not going to lose with Shedeur. And 12 million people not going to let you lose with Shedeur. That's not going to happen. So the smartest thing to do is to just shut the hell up and play football. Trade that pickup in case he come out of school. We don't care that Shedeur is not your franchise. The fact that Shedeur keeps saying he don't know if he going to be there and whatever it is what it is, tells you he knows he's not the franchise. I don't have to look at their posts and pay attention to who they posting as the future to figure that out. They making it obvious. We holding on to you, but we might be able to get somebody better. And it ain't Mendoza. And if it's Dante Moore, they're going to try to screw him over too. I think it's the Manning kid. I think the family is like, look, you know they can't pressure him. He's out of his own mind, you know. And they're going to be like, well, you know, the Browns got a spot. They don't have a franchise yet. And, you know, Pawpaw could get you in at the 3. You come on out this year, you know. You did good at the Michigan, you know. You did real good there. You know, something. Look what happened to Drew Allar, you know. Ain't nobody promised tomorrow, Art. You might have to think about it. They got a spot for you. But I thought Shedeur, no, he not their franchise. They ain't commit to him at the franchise, and they could just trade up from the 5 to the 3. It's already a done deal. If you want it, understand that's how it's going to go. And I think that's exactly what's happening. I do not think it's a coincidence that they get ready to play on New Year's Eve and Michigan is toe up from the floor up again. And I already saw how they were acting when UT beat Oklahoma, and I wasn't buying it then. I already knew what it was about. And they were trying to get into the damn playoffs. They want you to forget all of the bad so they could get their way, just like they did Jackson Dart. It said, I hope there's no sabotage, but we've seen enough to know better. It's a shame. Facts. It said they threw in the towel before getting on the plane with the final injury report. Okay. All right. I don't like that Denzel Ward is out, though. It said that boy, we all know who is responsible for Shedeur's success. It said they're doing what they do best, lying, taking credit for something they're not accountable for. Yep, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts. It said 12 has a chance to outplay this year. It said this year's number 1 pick and last year's number 1 pick in back-to-back weeks. Oh, wow, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. So, yep, he outplayed Cam last week. Now, I'm just saying, if he go in here and beat Caleb, and you're right, that was the 2024 number 1 pick. And they might want that. Don't forget, they paid Williams backup from the D3 school $10 million to hold his place. Next up, like they trying to get rid of Caleb. So don't be shocked. But that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I'm looking at something else. I'm like, you know, if Shedeur go out here and ball out again, whether he get rookie of the week or not, you don't have to put him in rookie of the year conversation. I don't think they want to do that. But I don't think you can stop it either. Because you can't set him up for the last 4 games like you wanted to. Like somebody said, they threw in a towel before they boarded the plane and had to change up the list because people were saying it was sabotage. That's why your voices matter. You got to keep speaking the truth. So good job, that boy Wig. That's an excellent point. Shedeur would have outplayed the 2 number 1 picks back-to-back years. Yep. It said, hey, what she said, I got my Shedeurian brown sweatshirt. I love it. I think they're going to try to sabotage the game. Thank you, Carly, for letting me know, and I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, I think they are too. In some way, shape, or form. Some way, I don't know. Last time what they tend to do, manipulate the O-line, manipulate the personnel, start off slow so he could be behind until the other team score and they think the game is out of reach. But they might not do that this week. I think they might want Caleb to lose more because he's in the hunt for the playoffs. Shedeur is not. They killed that dream last week. It said Browns QB coach Musgrave praised 12 this week. What? That's crazy. It says Shedeur is legendary. Right. That's facts. It says Stefanski should just go sit next to Dylan on the bench. He created this monster, right? And let's see if Dylan realized what's going on. But then again, he might have came in the door. Knowing exactly what it is. I think Shedeur going to have a good game tomorrow. Not going to be throwing like that, a lot of running. You think they're going to run the ball a lot? Okay. I noticed Kevin Stefanski, he didn't mention the pass protection, but he seemed to be a little annoyed by the run protection not being what he thought it was going to be. I still want to know why Dylan Sampson is not playing. And Denzel Ward. It said NIL money is good money. Yep, know your worth. Get that money. I'm proud of Lenora Sellers. Shout out to Lenora Sellers. It said Gamecock Nation, love Sellers. Yep. It said the thing I thought the Browns game is being televised all of a sudden. You know, somebody said that the other day. It became a flex game or something like that. They can't be trusted. Stinks for some reason. Fox TV. Ooh, I don't like Fox. I don't like when they do their broadcast. Is that where RG3 is over there at Fox? So he might be doing the broadcast. I think he does college though. I don't know if he does the pros. Interesting. Okay. I wish it was what is it? The NFL on CBS? I like them. They seem pretty progressive. We'll see. So now the game is being televised. Okay. It said no, too many eyes. Okay. So who's that? Rennie the Dream said that it's too many eyes watching. Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to save that one. We'll see. I hope these young men don't go to the NFL. It said like Myron Rowe, former FSU player who turned down the NFL to become a doctor. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, when you sit down and you look at 3 years, right? If you're not first round, is it worth it? You're not first round, your contract not guaranteed, and you're being treated like a slave. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I think the sacrifice of sacrificing your peace, sacrificing who you are as a person, especially with NIL. See, NIL is the game changer. It's like, I don't care if you don't draft me high. I don't even want to go to the draft. That's why I said they don't even talk about Darian Mensah, but maybe he got one more year. But see, last year they was high on Lenora Sellers. And when the season started and Arch was still in a conversation, they knocked him right the hell out. Pain becomes a weapon. So Shedeur got to make sure he don't get hurt. That's crucial too. You got to make sure they don't get. Remember how the Ravens defense was coming for Shedeur, but they protected Dillon? We hope Chicago not like that. And I don't trust their head coach. The Ben Johnson guy, I didn't like the way he was talking. So they might be on the tape. It said the fix is on. Just check the report. Yep, I agree. It said have all of the NFL football teams. It said tomorrow game will be more running than passing, but the QB is got to pick their spot. It said 180 yards will be a good day. I don't think people going to be happy with Shedeur only getting 180 yards because they're going to smell blood because why? He just threw for 393. If they make it a ground game, why is it snowing? Because if he threw for 393 in Cleveland with the sleet in the snow, and they held him back in the beginning, it took him out the game at the end and on another Wildcat. People not going to be happy with no ground game like that. First of all, it got to work. It said tomorrow about to be 12 and 10 wind chill. Okay, so maybe it's because of the wind they're going to ground the game. But they said that last time. We're going to see what the sun look like. Ain't nobody got time for that. I know that's right. It said we can't wait till Shedeur can finally lock in and play. Facts. It said Ward plays on defense. One target, he was saying they only threw at the wide receiver one time against him. Oh, okay. I thought he meant they were using him less. Got you. I know what you're saying. So he a lockdown corner. Okay. The NFL is not bigger than the culture. And they learning that. And they're learning. That's what they're learning. That's what they're learning. That's what they're learning. And what they don't want to admit is just like Target wants the culture. Hell, J. Crew wants the culture. Every goddamn pharmaceutical company out here got black people in their ads. It's ridiculous. It's just goddamn ridiculous. Even Kroger got black puppets. Like little like cookies or something. They're black too. Right? Everybody want the culture. For one, we ain't on food stamps like that because they ain't let it happen. And we don't need it. Everybody wants the culture, including the NFL, but they don't want to admit it. Why do you think they got Ken Griffey Jr. to be a celebrity photographer last week And then they got Method Man to do it like 2 to 3 weeks ago. And then, of course, Marshawn Lynch. Where the white people at? You see what I'm saying? Do they have any shampoo ads with the NFL, or is it just the black haircut products that we think are still black? We know better. Do y'all see that happening anywhere else? You see what I'm saying? So as much as they want us, they crazy as hell if they think they're going to get us while they abusing Shedeur, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. That's where the war is happening. That's where the war is happening. And in my opinion, their old playbook is to pretend we're not what? So gravitate to black people to pretend we're not what? And that's where they get in trouble. Because we see it. We see what you're doing to Shedeur and these other black quarterbacks. And we see how you're trying to come for us. So we don't say, are you crazy? It's the Colin Kaepernick thing all over, except for trying to suppress Colin Kaepernick. They gravitate to the black community in certain ways. What some of our icons and fave celebrities and sports stars to suppress us from speaking up and calling Stefanski out, Daboll out, Callahan out, so they can hire Gruden back. So the grave that you have dug for these black quarterbacks, you have dug for yourself. Like, I don't care if you think we stupid, because you know we not. Because you wouldn't even be trying to placate us if you thought we were stupid. Are you going to show the game live on your channel? Now, we don't show the game. I don't think anybody can do that except for like a sports bar or something like that. No, we just have a virtual watch party. You watch it at your house and come on live and we all get together and watch the game at the same time. I don't know if anybody can do that. You know, the NFL's games are copyrighted. I think only like if you have like a sports bar or something like that, that you could do it. These people are messy. Yup. It says Shedeur's testimony reminds me of the movie Hunger Games. Interesting. It said the difference between a moment and a movement is Shedeur. Right. And we declared Shedeur was a movement weeks ago, if not months ago. It said, Father, I stretch my hands to thee. I know that's right. That's exactly what David Njoku did in that game last week. Yep, Mama Tia, that's facts. That's facts. I hope they keep Stefanski, get Mendoza, and trade Shedeur. Okay, well, you probably one of the few. It said, I can't wait until somebody does a documentary on Dylan Gabriel when they finally realize that Shedeur was way better than him. I mean, people been calling it out. Have y'all noticed? They want to compare Shedeur. First, it was Cam. Now they comparing Shedeur stats to Baker Mayfield first 3 starts. I'm like, when y'all gonna do Dylan? Why they going after Baker Mayfield all of a sudden? Anybody notice that? They coming after Baker Mayfield like he called out Stefanski last week. I didn't hear Baker Mayfield say nothing. So because Baker Mayfield got out and went and balled out in Tampa, they want to suppress him. Because what does it say? That he left and did well. How you gonna want to sabotage Baker Mayfield to protect Stefanski? Like, what the hell are you thinking? You really think we give a damn about what Baker Mayfield got really going on? We happy for him. But just because you start going in on Baker Mayfield, like he's not all of that, to prove that Stefanski wasn't trash, that ain't convincing us of that. That's just showing us what you're capable of. That you're willing to go after Baker Mayfield, cause him to lose games. So you could say, he ain't doing that well. You know why? Because here's what people have said. Shedeur gonna be like Baker Mayfield. He gonna leave and go ball out. So suddenly Baker Mayfield, who was in playoff position, starts losing. What the hell are you trying to do? Convince us that Baker Mayfield didn't get out and do well? Because you want to start suppressing him? Because people are making a comparison that Shedeur gonna get out and do well. Understand, I don't give a damn what Baker Mayfield do. Shedeur is gonna get out and do well if he got a team where he could play football. But does he have a team where he can play football? That's the question. The answer is to be determined. But to start messing with Baker Mayfield is crazy. And they are messing with Baker Mayfield. Yeah, Stefanski should be on the bench with Dylan for sure. It said, hey, everybody, I'm late. I'm ready to get caught up. I'm going to let the chat catch you up. It said they're trying to take FAMU too. It said their new press. Oh, wow. What they trying to do over there at FAMU when you say take FAMU? It said, I love the way Shedeur dismissed that Hemi Award. Facts. Don't come to me with this crap. I'm like, the fans voted for Rookie of the Week. How many times did you hear somebody say Shedeur is the only rookie to win, the only quarterback to win Rookie of the Week? How many times did you hear somebody say that? I only heard it once. And now twice because I repeated it. You see? Even when he wins, they want to keep suppressing him. And they think the media is really convincing people. I'm like, ain't nobody believe nothing y'all saying. We just see what you're capable of. Appreciate that. We know you don't have no credibility now. It said, so I don't know who they trying to convince of anything. It says Shiloh got his bachelor's, his master's, and is musically talented on piano. Shout out to your man Facts. And he killing the podcast game. I know his last video was 300,000 views. So he probably getting ready to, if he hasn't surpassed 300,000 subs, you let Shiloh get to 300,000 subs, he gonna sell to 500,000. They don't want that either. You know why? Because you know how many players out here were waived like Shiloh, and they see what he got going on? Yeah. They got something else going on now. They don't want that. I can't wait till one of these big name players say, you know what, thank you, but no thank you. I'm going to law school, or I'm starting my own private equity firm, or I'm going into a sports group with somebody else. Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm waiting on. Just like in the NBA, this year for the NBA draft, it was the lowest number of people coming out of college. Yep. First time ever. So the NFL, it can happen. It can happen. It said, yes, Coach Pugh was the one who beat JSU when Coach Prime was there. That was the first year, 2021. Yep. And I was at that game for sure. The NFL is going to be forced to turn us because their QBs aren't producing as they should. Right. It's mediocre. That's what somebody say. Have you realized how mediocre it is? And then here comes Shedeur. Hence all of the unks being called off the couch. It said fans will begin to revolt. That's what I think too. I think one fan, it was a white guy. He said, anybody else notice how mediocre the play is? The quarterback play is? I'm like, yeah, because they're trying to get Dart to reach a certain level. They want you to think he's the best. They were actually comparing him to Pat Mahomes. Are you serious right now? Pat Mahomes has won how many Super Bowls, and you want to compare? Shedeur actually is more of a comparison to Pat Mahomes, like right now. And you see they making Pat Mahomes climb out the bottom. Because when it's 17-32, one drop is all it takes for you to be black. And we talked about that before they made the 53-man roster when I did my little chart with the triplets and the twins. All of them third and fourth spots got wiped right on out. Yep. Buddy Pugh was here from 2002 to 2023. Wow. South Carolina State. It said, I live 5 minutes from Carolina Stadium. Used to stay in Georgia as well. South Carolina is my home. Oh, okay. Which one do you like better? I mean, I'm assuming you still in South Carolina, so I'm assuming you like South Carolina better. They have all 4 seasons too, right? It said Coach Taylor's from Magnolia, Mississippi. Okay. So yeah, he might be open to that job. Okay. It said my mother went to an HBCU school here in South Carolina when she was accepted in med school in New Jersey. Okay. And you'd be surprised how many of your relatives you go back and talk to them, they went to an HBCU. Thank you, Tina. It said I was referring to Shiloh going to JSU homecoming. Oh, okay. Yeah, he need to come on. Okay. I need Shiloh to pop out. I wish he would have popped out at the Celebration Bowl. That would have been awesome. So, but I think he was doing his fundraiser with the jersey for the food pantry. But Shiloh, we need you on this HBCU. We need you at these games. I'd love for Shiloh to come to JSU homecoming. I think he has to experience a couple, right? Deion played at the 49ers with Musgrave, Shedeur QB coach. He and the owner wanted Shedeur, and Stefanski didn't. I don't think the owner wanted Shedeur. I'm sorry, but Musgrave, I'm sorry. To say he played with Coach Prime, he was the one that dragged Shedeur off to the side when Shedeur was talking to Bucky. Very rudely, like Shedeur was a damn toddler. I don't trust none of them. Jimmy Haslam has paid the offensive line and other players to hurt. It says so they won't play tomorrow to sabotage Shedeur and make him look bad. It's now, wait, all of those players are truly hurt. Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy out here. Wyatt Teller has already said he's not hurt. Right, he said it. He said, I'm not injured. And to me, Wyatt Teller's statement should have been enough to open the door for an investigation injuries, including Deshaun, and how he really got hurt, and the negligence by the Browns to allow him to be sacked. You know, when you let a quarterback get sacked that many times, that's the goal, right? For him to get hurt. That's the damn goal. It said at this point, Shedeur should say he's hurt too. Now, no. Believe me, it won't work out the same. It says Steelers play at 1. Be checking back and forth. Okay, when we live, normally somebody in the comments letting us know about the other games. So if you're going to be live with us, then you could probably let us know. It says Shedeur is really him. Facts. That's facts. It said Rivers is starting tomorrow. Oh, wow. Definitely got to keep an eye on the Colts game. It said the Browns already have 4 QBs, so they don't need any QBs. Right. And again, Haslam was not at Indiana or Oregon. He was at Ohio State. I don't hear anything about Julius saying, is he coming out of school? I don't hear his name in the conversation. It said my boy's at the Rams at 4:25 p.m. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Said the fix is in. Okay. Ramon said he think the fix is in. Phillip Rivers is starting tomorrow, and they got him because he played for the head coach when he was an OC and knows the offensive scheme. Yeah, okay. Whites Only Country Club. By referral only. It was reported today that Barry is safe. I don't know what happened. Because it's stupid to say Andrew Barry should be fired. And only the people doing that don't want to admit Stefanski need to be fired by himself. These people are protecting Stefanski. That's all it is. Because it's the Whites Only Country Club. That's how they act. And his father is the recommendation. Because they know him. So they don't want to hurt Stefanski. I don't know why, because he should be banned. It said praying for Shedeur to have a good game tomorrow. It said because the campaign for Mendoza to be drafted by the Browns is going to be, they not drafted that kid. What happened when Ohio State lost? Where Haslam was. So Julius said, what happened? They came out and said, we can't move Deshaun Watson. If I can't move Deshaun, and I couldn't get Shedeur because I couldn't move Deshaun, why the hell would I get Mendoza when I'm waiting on the Manny kid? But I'm going to just let it play out. I'm going to just let it play out. Understand this. They were willing to rig the Heisman to give it to the Manny kid so he could be in the first round. That's how much cheating they was willing to do. So you think they going to move off that kid for Mendoza, who they themselves have referred to as a eugenics pick because he's 6'5" and that's it? They're not doing that. Let me know when you hear Julius saying that. Because again, Haslam took Andrew Barry, his GM, the go fetch, the one that he said, go get me that guy. Ohio State versus Texas. Why you don't hear them talking about Julius saying, isn't he coming out? Because it's the Manning kid. And then people get their way. And Haslam think he can ride the Manning name all the way to 2029. And that'll bring out the kind of people he want at the game. And then he won't have to have outcasts. He can get whoever the hell it is that they listen to. You do know that that's what that's about, right? Why you think they're moving to Brook Park? They're only, 15, 20 minutes away? That stadium is nice over there. beautiful views and everything. It said praying for Shedeur to have a good game tomorrow. So yeah, the only people calling for Mendoza are the people who wanted Dylan. It said the game is gonna be on the Fox network. Okay. Is RG3 an NFL commentator or is it just college on Fox? Because I think he's on Fox. The Browns already got 4 QBs, right? They don't need nobody else. They don't need nobody else. Kevin not let Shedeur get 4 touchdowns again. He probably would have had 6. He definitely would have had 6. Oh, he for sure would have had 6. And don't forget, members, if you didn't watch it, if you're a member, go watch the most recent members only video. We watched USC versus Colorado, Cam versus Caleb Williams 2023. The score was a combined 89 points. Cam lit it up, Shedeur lit it up. And that's what tomorrow should be. But the fact that Vegas has the spread at only 40 points tells you both quarterbacks will be suppressed. That's what it tells you. That's exactly what it tells you. And that's another reason why Shedeur will be looking at them awards like that. Hear me? Do you hear ESPN calling for Stefanski to be fired? When you hear that, let me know. They can't stop guys playing. It becomes more evident every week. Facts. Facts. It said Musgrave always speaks well of Shedeur, and any improvements should probably be credited to him. Yeah, no. It said Arch probably ain't even going to the draft this year. Yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see. It said Samson may be in concussion protocol. Took a hard hit. Okay. Like Dylan? Okay. Since Musgrave and Deion are friends, they played on the 49ers when Musgraves was the QB. Okay. So why he can't stop Stefanski from acting like a jackass? Why he can't protect Shedeur? Didn't I say the same thing about Andrew Berry? So how good of friends are they really? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Nobody. Not any of the people in Coach Prime's inner circle. Not the people that he know on the ground, including Haslam, will call off Stefanski from sabotaging Shedeur. So they not friends. Just like Haslam and Coach Prime not friends. Unless Haslam gonna change his mind and hire Coach Prime, and I might forgive him. But I doubt it. I doubt it. Instead, agreed. CBS played perfect timing on a commercial break. Right. And they called out Stefanski. They sure did. They put out a clip and they were showing how dismissive Stefanski was of Shedeur. And I was like, is this supposed to help? Because I didn't know at the time, because normally these networks be all on the same page. But they took a stance. And I felt like they were one of the first networks to lead the conversation of Sabotage. Remember, before the Sabotage, it was just us, like, and the fans, right? It was just at this level, the fan level, and then it made its way. But CBS gave that a big boost during the Raiders game, right? So I don't think nobody Coach Prime friend, if they worked there and they let Stefanski abuse Shedeur, include Musgrave, because he was there all summer. So no, sorry. It said, it's going to be a ground game because of the cold. Maybe that's why they only came up with 40 points. That might be. It said Ben Johnson is on some slick stuff. Right. I don't trust him. It's giving the Ravens game. That's what it's giving. They just going to blitz Shedeur, but y'all say they're going to do a ground game. So we're going to see. Yes, RG3 is back. He was Fox Sports analyst last week. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So he's back. He's not just college. He's on the NFL too. Ben Johnson sounded like a clone of Kevin. Right. You can't trust that. How you going to trust when the coach is acting like Stefanski? You can't trust nobody acting like Stefanski. You can't trust nobody protecting Stefanski, and they got to go out here and play against Shedeur. I'm sure they got communication between the two. Again, pain is a way to make you unavailable. I'm just going to put it out there. It said, why y'all hating on Ben Johnson? Because he probably a snake. That's why. Birds of a feather. Birds of a feather. Oh, you was at the Raiders game. Isaiah said I was at the Raiders. Oh, you at the Raiders game. Okay. All right. It said it's not about the shield. It's about the culture. Yeah, that's true. I mean, when you think about the logo, what does it remind you of? And look at the colors. It said it'll be too cold to air it out. 12 degrees on the lake will be like throwing bricks. He has to pick his spots. Okay. We shall see. It said we ain't hating. The reporter asked about Shedeur, and the fool started talking about Dylan Gabriel. Like, bruh. It says, I'm sick and tired of the NFL. Yep, you and a lot of people. It said, remember, he got our dollar too. What are you talking about? He got our dollar. Let me know what you're talking about. It said the news is 4 refs who officiated the game of the Browns and the Titans game suspended pending investigation after the NFL discovered multiple Titans violations affected the Browns' loss. Where did you see that? We're going to need the link to that. Where did you see that, Wendell? Let us know. Drop us a link. It said we just started prioritizing professional sports over normal professional careers at the turn of the century. Doctors. Yeah, that's true. And you know when that happened, right? When integration. That's when that changed, because before we had our own leagues and they only invited us in to corner the market on the competition. So come play with us. You don't need your own league. Come play with us. That would be like them saying HBCUs aren't needed because we want to draw a line in the sand and y'all could come to school over here. Do not ever do that. Do not ever do that. That is to force you to put down what you're doing and go be subservient to them. Why the hell they don't put down what they doing and come over there by you? Don't ever do that. Ever. All right. So, we'll see. I'm not here to correct anyone. I stay in my lane. It's important that we recognize Tennessee State is considered an HBCU. I saw in the chat, Nola, I'm Gamecock Nation. Yeah, huh? Yeah, no, we know Tennessee State is an HBCU. What make you say that? Did somebody say something that Tennessee State was not an HBCU? Isn't Tennessee State 30% non-black though? Because supposedly they're changing up or something over there? Let me know. I don't know. I don't know what a conversation about Tennessee State came in at. Let me know. I didn't see that. But yeah, I said I wanted, and if that had anything to do with what I said I wanted 3 programs to have a Deshaun Jackson, Chennis Berry's Coach Prime type player that can come in, change the culture into a winning culture and win. Tennessee State, who else I said? FAMU and Grambling. Yeah, so yeah, there are 103 HBCUs, but those are the 3 programs that I believe they need to target and put those type of coaches there that they know, right? But the issue is the culture of the university. Like Tremaine Jackson said, when his AD gone, he gone. So that could be the holdup, because I think Tennessee got some problems. Tennessee State, I know they got some problems. That's why Eddie George left, because they could never get right. So thank you, Mama Tia. But yeah, I don't know. Tennessee State is they intentionally keep them in a problematic space. That's intentional. That's intentional. Believe me, that's intentional. That's why Eddie George left, because he saw it wasn't gonna never get better, because they intentionally, that's a strategy to disrupt. That's a strategy over there. Because look at who pulls the purse strings for the school. Look at who they pick to put on the board. And they keep recycling and recycling. Instability is a weapon. Shedeur has better stats than his first 3 games. Yep, that's true. That's another one. So they have compared Shedeur to Tom Brady. They have compared Shedeur to Baker Mayfield, but I'm waiting on them to compare Shedeur's first 3 starts. Did they compare Shedeur's first 3 starts to Dylan? Maybe they did it already and I missed it. That might be what it is. That might be. And I don't mean that low half a stat. I mean the first 3.5 or the first whatever. So the game where he had 393 yards, if they throw that one into the mix and compare it with Dylan, that's what I'm talking about. FAMU has a right, because why? Because of the states, and they're gonna try to keep doing this, right? And the moment what I say it needs to happen, the moment that happens at Tennessee State, Grambling, and FAMU, the moment that happens, you're gonna see the change at a lot of schools. Now, the alumni can fight against that, and they probably gonna have to fight against that. And what is one way to defeat that? Go to a different HBCU. I'm curious to see now that North Carolina NCAT, North Carolina A&T has 15,000 students, and they got a PWI football player that's going to NCAT. He turned down PWIs. I'm curious to see if they're going to try to disrupt the reason that all of these kids are choosing to go to NCAT. I know for a fact, NCAT heavily recruits technology, these big powerhouse corporations and firms, all descend upon NCAT. So I get it. They coming out of school over there making 80 like that. So I understand why the enrollment has increased. But don't forget, NCAT is under the auspices of North Carolina, UNC. So just like they over there finagling FAMU, and FAMU messed up themselves. And that's exactly what happened when Coach Prime was at Jackson State. The problem is sometimes the people that work there, if they're not like Ashley Robinson or Tremaine Jackson, they're not progressive. And I heard Michelle Obama say it. Sometimes our people, well, not our people, but people get into leadership and they don't leave. And they become outdated and they fall behind, but they don't feel like they have a next level. So they stay and they hinder all of the progress. That's what I feel like happened at Jackson State. That's what was happening at FAMU. And now, because you couldn't get it together, they gave you somebody. Same thing is happening at Texas Southern, if y'all didn't hear recently. Saying Texas Southern is being audited. I'm like, again, do you not know how many times Texas Southern has been audited for finances? It's like every 7 years. Every 7 years. And that's intentional too. It looks bad. Which is why a lot of people go to Prairie View, if you just want to be honest. Or U of H, which is across the street. So it's going to always be something, right? But I believe that if you get coaches at least those three schools, or if you can't do Tennessee State because the state want to keep their hand in the mess, keep a mess over there, you should be able to do something at Grambling because they had a pretty progressive president, and you should be able to do something. Well, I don't know about FAMU now because I'm sure I tell you they have a lot of resources. So that could be a way of trying to control their resources too. So we're going to see. FAMU has strong legacy. Let's see if the students and alumni force out who they just put over there. But it's because of all of the dysfunction that was happening. They opened that door. And that's a shame, right? And it's a shame because the last president, he should have been moved on. That's what Michelle Obama was talking about. She wasn't talking about him specifically, but she's talking about people who have been in leadership too long that you're no longer useful. You become part of the problem. I happen to agree with her. So it was someone in the chat. What you say matters at the highest respect. This is your esteemed platform, Robust. It was somebody in the chat. Oh, okay. Well, you can't pay all them people no mind because we get some strays every now and then. So don't worry about them. But thank you. But thank you. Don't worry about them. We get some strays every now and then. Moderators, you know, I think we got pretty good moderators tonight. Just use them tools. So, all right, we're going to get ready to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, 1 o'clock. If y'all joining us for the live stream, I'll be live at 12:50. The game comes on at 1. I think it's going to be a highly anticipated a highly watched game. I think millions of people will watch to see if Stefanski sabotages Shedeur on paper, the game that Shedeur just versus what Caleb has been allowed to do. He hasn't thrown for 300 yards yet. People believe Stefanski is going to try to keep Shedeur from even getting to 300, right? But people can see when Stefanski is suppressing Shedeur. So he been exposing himself every week. We just pray to God that Shedeur can overcome whatever foolishness they got going on over there, like he did last week, and he can ball out and win. Because Shedeur wants to win. And I want that for him too, right? So we're gonna get ourselves out of here, y'all. I've been gone all day. Let's see. Who was this? It said, I thought it was somebody else that said something. Mama Tia, thank you so much for the super chats. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Wendell, let us know where you get the link from. You said something about the officials from the Browns Titan game suspended. I wish they would suspend Kevin Stefanski. Let me know. Let me know. And Mama Tia, thank you for the information on Coach Buddy Pugh. And I guess we'll be back tomorrow, guys. 12:50 p.m. Thank you, Mama Tia. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. I appreciate it. We'll be back at 12:50, guys. So we'll see y'all later. All right, we'll be back. We're gonna have some fun tomorrow. Get your snacks together. Get your blanket if it's cold. I think I have the air on right now. It was 56 degrees according to the temperature, but the sun was out, so it felt like it was 70 or 75. People had on shorts today, so even me wearing this sweatshirt, thank God I was indoors. But outdoors, when I left, it was hot. So hopefully it's like that in Chicago. The sun can be a deciding factor to kind of like, make things more palpable or be able to deal with them like that. So we'll see what happens. So we're praying for Shedeur. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate the support, everybody. And looking forward to tomorrow. Have a good night.